The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
Your weekend is not complete without the First Lady of New York Radio. It's the Joan Hamburg Show. Talk Radio 77 WABC.
You know, we always fill you in with what theater you should see, what you should do. I'm sure for some people it's annoying, but what the heck? We do it anyway. And my friend Joy Behar, well, Joy's amazing. She's one of the most prolific people I've ever met. She writes a play, she acts in a play, she does a play, she doesn't do a play. If you don't know what day it is, you can't keep up with her. But she's got a new play. Yes, she does. An off-Broadway play. Great people in it and out of it. So you can see it a lot of times. And Joy, well, I'm going to let you hear from Joy what's going on. And how does she do all this? Joy, how do you do all this?
I had a very productive month in February, I must say. It's a good thing it's the shortest month of the year, or I would be completely hospitalized.
Well, it's true, but well, explain what that means, because you brought a new off-Broadway play into town, and not only did you develop it, write it, but you were in it. Yeah.
Yes. Well, for 4 weeks, the play is called My First Ex-Husband, and it is an ongoing, open-ended play at the Manhattan Movement and Arts Center on 248 West 60th Street. And the theater is a really cute theater. It's not big. It's like 200-seater, which I like because this is a very intimate show.
You can relate.
My First Ex-Husband. I started writing this about 10 years ago. I started interviewing people, women. I got interested in why were they getting divorced? Why are people getting divorced? I'm divorced myself, so I knew my own story, but I never thought mine was that interesting. But it could be. So I started interviewing these women, and I got these stories out of them. And then I talked to them for like 3 hours a lot of times. And I transcribed material, and then I added material, and I changed names, and I did ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And then I got monologues out of them. And so the show is a series of 8 monologues, 4 actresses who will change. Every 4 weeks, the cast will change. So we just finished a whole 4 weeks with Susie Essman and Tova Felcher and me and Adrienne Moore. And now the new group started this past Wednesday with Susan Lucci, Kathy Moriarty, Tanya Pinkins, and Judy Gold.
Yeah, great group.
And every group is going to be great. The ones after that are Vianne Cox and Jackie Hoffman, Andrea Navedo, and Talia Balsam. And down the line, we've got Pauletta Washington, Denzel's wife. We've got Mary Testa, we've got Renee Taylor, we've got Julia Sweeney, Mary Lou Henner, Marsha Mason. I mean, it's an incredible group of people. Yeah. So every 4 weeks, the cast will change. Some of the monologues will stay. I might put in new ones and take out whatever. I'll see how it goes. But at the moment, the monologues are staying, and they're very funny and very heartfelt, I think. Well, you saw the show, John.
Yeah, I saw the show a few times, and you can, because every day it's different. Every time you see it. It feels
different, yeah.
It does feel
different. And now,
different.
Judy Gold's interpretation of the Hasidic woman is different from Tova Felcher.
Very.
A completely different interpretation, so it's fun to see how different actresses do the material.
Yeah, and Tova becomes a Hasid.
Yes, Tova really.
She gets very excited.
She becomes a Hasid. Yeah, a Hasid, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's it. And, I did this. I was in the show for 4 weeks, and I was doing the View. So I'm a little tired. That's why you say I'm a whatever you said. I said I was prolific. It's because I was busy for that month, very busy.
Yeah, but you like that, even though it's a lot.
Well, it was. Truthfully, I don't think it's a good idea to do 2 shows, one at the beginning of the day and one at the end of the day. I think that's a problem for most people.
It's a lot of work.
You need some downtime. You need some downtime, and you don't get it when you're working all day and all night.
So even though you did all that and you were on the air and off the air and writing and fixing and, dealing with a very good cast, Did you learn anything about your first marriage after doing it again?
A little bit. I think that I'm going to have somebody interview me. I can't do it without, I can't interview myself. And when you start to talk, it becomes more and more honest. That's why these monologues work, because people are very honest about what happened. And it's from a woman's point of view. I always ask the men after the show when they hang out later, I say, did you feel that it was a male bashing show? And not one of them who comes says that they think it is. Number one, they don't see themselves in it. They say, well, that's not me.
Right.
That's number one. And the other ones are like, oh, it's great. I like to hear what the women have to say. So, I might interview a gay guy who got married and divorced, though. You think that would work? What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, that's you've got a lot of different things going on in that kind of interview. But,
but gay people are the only ones who seem to want to get married lately.
Yeah, but it depends upon whom they marry.
Well, yeah, because they're now at the stage where they're getting divorced, which I think is, so I might just do that and put one in like that.
Yeah, well,
because the gay audience likes the show. Yeah, I get the gay audience likes the show too, I notice, because they like to hear what people have to say. It's just, the vagina monologue basically started this format. And then you had Nora Ephron's show, Love, Loss, and What I Wore. And it was like that.
That was a good one, too.
And I did both of those, and I like that format a lot. And I think that actresses and actors like it because they don't have to really memorize anything. You're reading somebody's story, even though you're acting.
Yeah.
And then the other show that was like that was the Exonerated, the Bob Balaban's show.
Yeah.
So it's becoming quite the thing.
Well, you started a trend, but having seen it in various reincarnations, it's really fun to watch. I said Joy has the kind of personality that you sort of want what she has. I even wanted an ex-husband. and
I know. Unfortunately, yours passed away, but and he was quirky. Your husband was quirky. We could do a monologue on him, but it wouldn't really go in this show.
No, but he was a very devoted husband and a possessive husband.
My God, I know. Where's Joan? That's all I ever heard from him. Heard from him.
I know, but we travel with a varied group of people, and it is interesting to see relationships and marriages and what it takes. How come
Steve,
the dog is so excited?
I'm sorry, my dog is barking in the background. Everyone wants attention. Hold on.
That's the problem. All right, go give him a little scratch.
I will.
This message is brought to you by Abercrombie Kids, your place to shop everything they need for a summer full of memories. Kids can never have too many shorts and tees, and Abercrombie Kids has endless options. Planning a water park or beach trip? Get them new swim with next-level comfort. Summer's calling. Answer with Abercrombie Kids. Shop in-store, online, or in the app.
This episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit TemptationsTreats.com to learn more.
Smart Water Alkaline with antioxidant. 9.5 plus pH, now in cans.
Refreshing.
Made for every way you move.
Should I run a marathon?
Let's start with finishing that water. Smart Water Alkaline with antioxidant, now in a sleek can. For those with a taste for taste. Grab yours today.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
So what else, before I let you go, is going
Yeah.
on in your life? My first ex-husband.
When The View, I'm doing The View.
Right.
And, the other thing is I'm working on getting my other play produced at the same theater in the fall called Bonkers in the Boroughs. And that is a different kind of play. It's 5 different short plays. Each one takes place in a borough in New York City. All comedy. It's funny. And so I think people will like that show, too. I'm excited. I'm a playwright in my old age.
Yeah, but that's giving you a lot of pleasure, and the thing is you can do it.
Well, I've always been a writer, even when I was in college, I was always in the creative writing classes and the senior magazines and things, but I gave it up because I needed to make a living. That's why I became a stand-up comedian. I went directly to see if I could make a living there. And so I put it away, but now I don't do that anymore. So I want to do this. I'm back to this.
But
you know
is
what?
this
You can
better
start
for
anything
you?
at any. I like this a lot. I like it. Performing is something I've done for years, and I'm over it a bit. Mm-hmm. But I do like the writing. And, I just want to say to everybody who's listening, I'm like, an example of somebody who can tell you can start something at any age. It doesn't matter how old you are. Unless you want to be a surgeon, then I would not start late because you need to know what you're doing. But most things you can start later. You can start to paint. You can start to write. You can start to, to teach. There's a lot of things you can do at every different age.
But you have to have a talent, and you have to have the gumption to make it work. And you do that. I mean, you don't have to do that.
Joan, everybody has some kind of a talent. When I was when I was first married to my first husband, I was making paper mache puppets. You know what I mean? I was not a sculptor.
That I didn't.
I didn't know what I was doing. I was making paper mache puppets. You can always do something, even if you're not Picasso, just for your own fun, your own pleasure.
And what you're doing now, by the way, let's remind everyone how they can see your latest venture.
Okay. It's called My First Ex-Husband. It's at the MMAC Theater at 248 West 60th Street. Go on myfirstexhusband.com for tickets.
Okay.
And it's an ongoing play with different casts, and when you go on the website, you'll see all the information.
No, and it's very funny, and it's also very poignant because it touches a lot of things that you may not think you want to talk about, but once it's out there, it's almost like breathing fresh oxygen.
Yes, that's very well put. Thank you, Joan.
It makes you really feel good. Anyway, Joy, thanks. I love talking about the play because I got a big kick out of it, and so did everyone else.
Okay.
So
Thank you for this opportunity. Yes, I hope to see you soon, John.
I look forward to it. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye, Joy.
Bye-bye.
Guys, I'm Joan Hamburg, and that was my pal Joy Behar, my first ex-husband. I'm telling you, you're going to want one after you see the play. Anyway, have a good time, enjoy it, and we'll talk. There's lots more after this. I'm Joan Hamburg.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.